they showed it, but Miku just broke out. And I know she isn't physically going through all of this, but realistically, this would be an equivalent to breaking out of prison. And as you just saw there, she does this not once, but twice. I'm also going for property damage because of what happened to the room around her. I don't know if that was her doing, but I'm giving it to her anyway because I'm pretty sure it wasn't like this before she was free. Dang, those hits are personal. I know it's not a fourth wall break, though at the same time it could be, because the camera she just swatted away was definitely meant to be a person. I know she was extremely upset, but she didn't even stop to think that she could be destroying a very hard-to-make / expensive object, which makes that gross negligence. Now she knows she's in trouble, and that's why she's running away. Also, it's very interesting how Miku can commit so many crimes in a matter of seconds. Okay, now I highly doubt she's even allowed to be here. Sadistic Music Factory. I'm quite ambivalent about you. On one hand, you're one of the few songs where Miku has a deep and compelling character without her being a yandere or using sick and twisted love in general just to justify her evil actions. But on the other hand, Miku's just a straight up menace in this song. A tyrant, if you will. I won't go too much into detail yet, but all I can say is that this song follows the quote, "You're not yourself when you're hungry," because Miku does unsavory things to people in this song. Remember before I said she was a tyrant? Yes, she's a cruel leader who abuses her power. I also noticed that when she finds out someone escapes, she calls him a fugitive, just making it more obvious. So during that entire segment, Miku just explains why they're here, to make for her, and I quote, fresh music to satisfy her hunger and rage, which we'll talk about later. But there you have it, folks. Miku runs an entire music factory for the sake of enslaving people. And that is the definition of tyranny. Yeah, she just threatened to capture and torture whoever tries to escape the factory, and is willing to kill whoever chooses not to serve her. I'm also pretty sure that she did this to a lot of people. Okay, I have to bring this up. The very thought that Miku can tell that one out of many of her victims is missing is just creepy, because it just goes to show that she's keeping her victims' every move under extremely heavy supervision. And the fact that she knows that the missing person is a dude just proves that she knows each individual like the back of her hand. How often does she watch them exactly? Well, judging by the extent of her insanity, all the time. Which shouldn't be surprising given her reasoning for all this, but still. She does this again later in the song, but she intimidates her victims further by saying that no matter how many songs she consumes, she'll always be hungry, because not one song is edible to her, but she still needs them. So most likely the factory workers are making songs almost meaninglessly and endlessly. However, Miku needs these songs, and she won't even let her victims stop for a second. We don't know if she feeds them or lets them sleep, though at the same time she probably does if she wants these people to, and I quote again, stand by her side always and always, but we know she could never let them catch a break, even for a little while. We also know that she doesn't care about how this kind of torment is affecting her workers, because 90 out of 100 times, one of her victims die each day. Of course, that's just an assumption. So she manages to capture the one who tried to leave, and I am officially creeped out. And here it is, guys, the chorus, at least I think it is, where Miku basically shouts threats for the last time before bugging out, but with her genuine feelings to back it all up. She says that she can't ignore the thought that she won't last forever despite being immortal, and to her, all these songs are just cobbled together messes that make her grow more angry. She even implies that she'll forever be nothing, having been stuck living like this, with this very fact leaving her hysterical, enraged, and egoless, which transforms into hunger. On her part, it's simply a nightmare, having been trapped ingesting songs that have almost no meaning to her because the only thing preventing her from dying so soon. Which, in my eyes, is less sadistic and more of a desperate act to stay alive. That's basically my true takeaway from the song, instead of it being, Miku feeds off of your songs and won't let you escape. You're welcome. But Miku still says, I won't let you escape before glitching out, so there's that. Also, what kind of arm strength does she have? Also, I'm pretty sure she's gonna ruin the way the doors function, since, she's stopping them from closing. Oh, and she once again kidnapped someone. Well, she must have a license, otherwise she wouldn't be driving. Okay, never mind the fact that she made a small path. Do you know how fast you need to go to stay in the air for a few seconds after driving off the edge of the road? And speaking of driving off the edge of the road, she made an unfinished path for the sake of what, exactly? If she was capable of making a path, she could have made it go diagonally downwards so she could safely land on the other path. Instead, she perfected a spin in midair and landed on the lower path pretty hard, meaning she could have hurt herself and damaged the vehicle, whether she perfected a spin or not. Additionally, if someone else were driving on the same path as Miku, let's just say the way the road ends won't be doing them any favors. Wow, she really just parked her car in the middle of the street.